There's the charcuterie and the charcuterie board part.
The shocking truth behind Amy Slaton's rise and fall on 1000 LB Sisters is finally exposed. TLC has permanently banned Amy after a devastating drug relapse, sending shockwaves through fans, family, and the reality TV world. What really happened behind the cameras? And is this the end of her career? Stay tuned as we uncover every shocking detail of this explosive scandal. The world of reality television is no stranger to drama, but few stories have shaken audiences and insiders alike as profoundly as the latest developments surrounding Amy Slaton of TLC's 1000 LB Sisters. In a shocking turn of events, sources close to the network reveal that Amy has been permanently banned from TLC following a devastating drug relapse, an incident insiders describe as both alarming and career-ending. For nearly a decade, viewers have followed Amy and her sister Tammy Slaton as they navigated the challenges of weight loss, family dynamics, and the unrelenting scrutiny of fame. Amy, in particular, has been a polarizing figure, outspoken, determined, and unapologetically herself. Her journey, from her early days on 1000 LB Sisters to her highly publicized weight loss surgeries, has inspired millions. But behind the cameras, sources reveal a darker, more complicated story that ultimately led to her unprecedented ban. Amy Slaton's rise and public persona. Amy first captured the public's attention in 2019 when 1000 LB Sisters premiered. Unlike many reality stars, she wore her vulnerabilities on her sleeve. From candidly discussing her struggles with obesity to detailing her complicated family relationships, Amy quickly became one of TLC's most watched personalities. Her fans celebrated her authenticity, seeing a relatable figure in someone who wasn't afraid to confront personal struggles head-on. Over the years, Amy's life became increasingly intertwined with public scrutiny. She shared her weight loss surgeries, her relationship milestones, and her sisterly bond with Tammy, often posting unfiltered content on social media. Yet, as fans cheered for her successes, few knew the extent of the challenges Amy faced behind closed doors. Insiders now reveal that a history of addiction, including prescription medication misuse, had long been a silent undercurrent in her life, a current that would soon crash violently into the spotlight. The relapse, a timeline of turmoil. According to confidential sources familiar with the situation, Amy's relapse did not happen overnight. It was a gradual descent that unfolded over months, involving both prescription and illegal substances. While the specifics are sensitive, multiple insiders confirm that the relapse was significant enough to alarm family members, friends, and TLC executives alike. Reports indicate that Amy initially attempted to manage her struggles privately. Family members allegedly intervened multiple times, offering support and encouraging professional help. However, sources say that the relapse escalated rapidly, ultimately prompting emergency calls to TLC's corporate offices. A leaked internal memo, obtained exclusively by our investigative team, outlines TLC's initial response. Amy Slaton has exhibited behavior inconsistent with our network standards. Immediate action is required to assess potential risk to the network, its audience, and legal liability. This memo, dated just weeks before the public revelation, reveals the network's growing concern and its cautious approach before taking the drastic step of issuing a permanent ban. TLC's investigation and decision. Insiders describe a series of tense meetings between TLC executives, legal advisors, and Amy's representatives. According to sources, these discussions were meticulous, focusing not only on the relapse itself, but also on the potential ramifications of continuing to feature Amy on their programs. Legal analysts suggest that networks are acutely aware of the liability associated with featuring individuals struggling with addiction. A reality show isn't just entertainment, it's a broadcast product, says attorney Daniel Rosenthal, who specializes in media law. If a star engages in illegal activity or behavior that endangers themselves or others, the network can be held accountable, particularly if it airs content knowing these risks exist. The investigation reportedly included reviewing recent filming, social media posts, and private communications to confirm the relapse. It wasn't just hearsay, says a source close to TLC. They had documented proof that this was serious. Once that became clear, a permanent ban was the only viable option. The network's perspective. While fans may see the decision as harsh, insiders say TLC approached the matter with both caution and concern. The network has a history of supporting stars through personal crises, offering counseling and rehabilitation programs when appropriate. However, this case, according to sources, was different. The network's priority is the safety of its audience and the integrity of its programming. One insider explains, "They tried to work with Amy, but the relapse involved factors that crossed ethical and legal boundaries. Continuing to feature her could have caused irreparable damage to the brand." This decision marks a stark contrast to TLC's previous approach with other stars. Historically, the network has allowed cast members to navigate personal struggles on screen, often turning moments of crisis into compelling storytelling. Amy's situation, however, reportedly presented risks that even TLC could not manage on camera. Fan reactions and public outcry. The news of Amy's ban has sparked an immediate and intense reaction on social media. Fans are divided. Some express deep concern for Amy's health and well-being, while others criticize the network for what they perceive as a punitive response. Trending hashtags such as #StandWithAmy and #TLCBanShock have dominated Twitter feeds, illustrating the passionate debate surrounding this decision. Several longtime viewers have shared heartfelt messages online. "Amy has been through so much. I hope she gets help and comes back stronger. TLC is crossing a line. She's human. People make mistakes. This is heartbreaking. 1,000 Elba sisters won't be the same without her." Meanwhile, insiders suggest that TLC is monitoring the situation closely, aware that public perception could influence both the network's reputation and the future of the franchise. A star at a crossroads. Amy's ban represents not only a professional setback, but also a deeply personal crisis. Sources close to her reveal that she is devastated, grappling with shame and fear for her future. Mental health experts emphasize that relapse is a common part of recovery from addiction, highlighting the importance of timely intervention and support. Dr. Karen 1,000-pound sisters. Lastly, the authorities have detained Amy and Tammy, two 1,000-pound chicks, and charged them with money laundering. They are currently incarcerated. The cops say the court will judge them, we can't release them, and you won't come here again, despite the fact that the entire family has gone to free them. When the news crashed into the Halterman family kitchen in Kentucky, the sun shone like a hot skillet on a burner. The police had detained Amy and Tammy, two sisters who were well known in the community for both their personality and their great stature, on suspicion of money laundering. Nobody could have imagined how ridiculous it was, but the police station made it quite evident. Both sisters are in custody on charges of financial fraud and money laundering. 1,000-pound sisters Amy, who insisted she never even knew how to use her phone's banking app, sobbed uncontrollably as she sat in the detention cell. But Tammy sat theatrical and angry, her arms crossed. "I didn't do any money laundering. I can't even wash my clothes," she screamed, trembling the bars of the prison. Although one of the cops coughed to conceal a giggle, the others maintained a straight expression. "Maybe they didn't understand," Amy murmured, sniffling. "Perhaps our names were used, similar to identity theft?" Tammy gave an eye roll. "Girl, our snack order is the only identity that someone steals from us." Marching to the rescue, the family panicked back home. When the news broke, Chris, the older brother with the endlessly sardonic humor, was the first to comment, "Is money being laundered by Amy and Tammy? They are unable to even wash their socks." He paced back and forth as he stated, "This has to be a fake." Amanda pounded her hands on the table. She was loud, fierce, and always prepared for a battle. "Right now, we're heading to that police station. Our sisters cannot be kept that way by them." Encouraged by Amanda's speech, the entire family loaded into two vans and drove directly to the jail because one van couldn't accommodate them all and their drama. In the police station, Amanda rushed inside the police station first when they arrived. "We demand the immediate release of our sisters," she yelled. Behind the desk, a composed officer gently raised his head. "What happens to them will be decided by the court, ma'am. We are unable to let them go." "You're not understanding." Caleb, Tammy's husband, gave a startled gasp. "My spouse lacks the financial literacy to handle money laundering. She still believes that PayPal is a cleaning solution." At that, even the police arched an eyebrow. Chris, more courteous than the others, took the lead. "We think there was a misunderstanding, sir. However, the officer's response was firm. The case is now under court authority. They are not yours to take home. 1,000 pound sisters additionally, you are not permitted to return here. Silence fell. Amanda was astounded too. Not permitted to go back? It was like a horrible cliffhanger in a TV drama. Inside the prison, Amy and Tammy, meantime, had already begun to take over behind bars. The inmates found them fascinating. While Tammy had managed to set up an unauthorized network of snack exchanges among prisoners, Amy was sharing heartfelt tales about her children. Do you have any hot chips? Like a queen of illicit munchies, she offered to swap you peanut butter cups. Incredulous, the jail staff watched. In less than a day, the sisters had established a reputation for themselves. Court day is nearing. The family was emotionally spent when they got home. They were aware that everything will be decided by the impending trial. Did the sisters get set up? Were they duped? Or did Tammy have a point when she said that they simply lacked the knowledge to commit financial crimes? Everybody pledged to support them. Amanda reached for a notebook. We will fight intelligently if we must. Going forward, we will be detectives. They were set up by someone and we will find out. Chris let out a sigh. Fantastic. The mystery squad of the Slaton family. For the Slaton family, a new chapter had just begun as the sun sank over Kentucky. The date of the court was set. There were secrets to be revealed. 1,000 pound sisters. And whether they were guilty or not, Amy and Tammy were going to have to deal with the most difficult situation of their lives. But the world was unaware that Tammy Slaton and Amy Slaton, two of the most erratic, amusing, and incredibly charming sisters in the world, were going to be revealed when they were first shown on TLC. But no one witnessed the heartbreaking story that lay beneath every burp, giggle, and meltdown. This is the enlarged, deeper, and even more bizarre version of everything you missed in Season 1. We're gonna lose weight. After dinner, declared Amy and Tammy as they sat on their couch surrounded by food. Last supper, but like the bonus version, Tammy whispered as she nodded while munching on cheesy breadsticks. The sisters pledged that this fabled feast would be the last one. However, they saw the meal delivery man's return as a sign from the cosmos that they needed cheesecake to start over when they forgot the dessert. Tammy found a new way to avoid exercise because she found it difficult to leave the house: poetic trash talking. She penned brief, angry poems about diets, such as salads are green, roses are red, and if calories had feelings, they'd know they're just mean. Amy said, "Girl, we need to sell this and pay for surgery," as she laughed so hard that she spilled her protein drink. As a result, Tammy started writing poetry anonymously online under the handle FatButFancy34. Amy attempted to launch a YouTube cooking channel to share her healthy recipes. 1,000 pound sisters, regretfully, her initial dish consisted of 4 butter sticks, a balanced diet soda. She also referred to bacon as nature's multivitamin. Unintentionally, the video became viral, but it wasn't for inspiration. Instead, people mistook it for a spoof. Amy didn't mind. Honey, views are views. At a clinic, the sisters made the decision to weigh themselves. As though it had given up on life, the scale beeped, flickered, and then froze. Tammy regarded it as if she were a villain in a film. You big calculator, try me again. Did the machine just shut down? The nurse asked another nurse in a whisper. Even technology can't handle this thick queen, Tammy retorted in a whisper. Tammy disclosed that she was in love. Chad was the man's name, but he only sent pictures of his neck and would always say, "Don't video call, my camera's allergic." 1,000 pounds sisters. Amy had a feeling there was a problem. After a week of research, she found out that Chad was, in fact, a fitness instructor attempting to experiment on the psychology of weight loss. Tammy's famous reaction when Amy told her was, "Girl, he better be experimenting on blocking me now." The gals made an effort to work out. Coach Mayberry, their trainer, forced them to cross the parking lot. "I think my soul just tried to escape," Tammy said after 5 minutes. Amy skipped squats by pretending to faint. The trainer didn't fall for it. "Amy, get up. Like a lousy actor, you pass out." "Okay, fine, but at least I gave drama, not sweat," Amy later acknowledged. "I'm scared to die before I live anything worth remembering," Tammy confessed one evening following a demanding day filled with unsuccessful workouts and heated disagreements. She never said this on video. "Then we live first," Amy whispered as she gave her a hard hug. "Everything else follows." For the first time, Tammy sobbed with hope rather than frustration. The the sisters struck a new agreement before the season concluded. But one little triumph at a time, for a life they might love together. "Let's surprise the world by surviving," Tammy said as they toasted with water rather than soda. But Amy Slaton's comfortable Kentucky home was illuminated by the morning sun. Her newborn child, Gage Halterman, was turning 1 today, so it was a great day. For months, Amy had been preparing for this day. Having Gage seemed like a miracle after years of fighting weight, having trouble getting pregnant, and going through emotional ups and downs, so his first birthday had to be one to remember. Amy wanted everything to be flawless. Because Gage liked vibrant colors and always tried to roar like a newborn T-Rex when he was happy, she decided on a rainbow and dinosaur theme, 1,000-pound sisters. Her phone was constantly ringing with messages from relatives, and her kitchen counters were piled high with baking goods. Amy's sister Tammy, wearing a
Reality television often